Now, we have never talked about Bailey Sarian before on this channel, but she got kind of shady towards Mikayla, and I want to talk about it.
Hey Shelby Bells, it's Shelby. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in for another video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Shelby. I'm the crazy cat lady of the drama community here on YouTube. I bring you the tea 7 days a week with the help of my investigative research team, Mr. and Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty is the brains around here, and Mr. Kitty is the face, which sometimes means that he brings us a little bit of clickbait. It's easy to forgive him because he's so cute. So if you like cats and you like tea, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. Don't forget that all Shelby Bells ring the bell.
Okay, so the latest episode of the Full Coverage podcast, that's Manny Mua and Laura Lee's podcast, you guys, which, by the way, in parentheses, you guys, Manny and Laura's podcast is basically like a drama podcast. Like, they talk about so much tea on there. Like, they basically are like, that podcast is like a drama channel podcast. It really honestly is. And they always want to say that, like, you know, they're not drama or whatever, but that's what they talk about, because they're talking about news topics. They're talking about like influencer news. They're doing the exact same thing that they used to hate on drama channels for doing, but now they're doing, I don't know. Anyway, I digress. That's a whole different subject in a different video, but that's, I mean, don't get me wrong, I live for the podcast, but at the same time, it's like, girl, like, just admit that you're just doing, like, you're a drama channel, like, now, basically, just admit that you're a drama channel. So their latest guest on this Full Coverage podcast was Bailey Sarian. And if you guys don't know who Bailey Sarian is, I mean, you probably do. She blew up in the makeup community. She is she's very unproblematic. Like, she's never been in really any drama. I think there was a little bit of drama pertaining to her at some point a couple years ago, because someone said she just really wasn't as nice as she, like, portrayed herself to be or something. I think that happened. I don't really know. It wasn't anything I actually talked about. I don't think I talked about it, at least. But Bailey Sarian, she was the one that really kind of combined the beauty with the true crime, right? And so she has this thing where it's called like makeup murder mystery or something like that. So she'll like do her makeup or talk about makeup while she's talking about these like this true crime stuff, right? And it blew up on the internet, and a lot of people really, really love Bailey Sarian a lot. They like watch her stuff all the time. It combines like two of like these things that people just love to talk about, true crime and makeup. It combines them both. And she really has made quite a name for herself here on YouTube, and quite a, she's made quite a splash in the beauty community, I guess, if you will, over the past few years. And she really kind of blew up, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I think is when she really blew up. And anyway, so she's very popular, but unproblematic. She doesn't really get herself into much drama. Like, drama channels are not talking about her all the time. Like, I'm pretty sure I've never really talked about her too much on this channel. I don't even, to be honest, I'm not even sure if I ever have. I might have mentioned her, but as far as her being in drama, like, I really don't know if I've talked about her. But she went on this Full Coverage podcast, and like I said, Manny and Laura's podcast, I mean, it basically is a drama podcast, right? Like, it basically is about drama. And they brought up Mikayla and the mascara gate situation, which I thought, a side note, I thought the Mikayla mascara gate situation has been dead and gone, girl. I thought that it was over. I thought people weren't talking about it anymore. I thought no one would care anymore. But I mean, it's been so long. At the end of the day, I mean, she did lie. And allegedly she did lie, and it was a situation where she really kind of showed her true colors, I guess, but more or less she came out unscathed. And because I think at the end of the day it was just mascara, so it wasn't like she was doing some of this like horrible stuff that other influencers have done. So I feel like it was easy for us to just kind of be like, she ain't anything, like, she ain't shit or whatever, like, she lied allegedly, but it's just mascara, so I'm moving on, right? So I feel like a lot of people were able to do that with the situation, which is why I thought everything had kind of blown over with that, and that she was just like doing her thing again. I mean, like, we understood how she moved now and like whatever, but like we weren't, you know, talking about it anymore, because like, why? Like, I mean, there's only so much you can talk about a certain situation, right? Well, apparently not according to Manny and Laura, because they brought the whole situation up on the podcast, and you know what, I'm just gonna play you the clip, so roll it.
I was so late to Mascara Gate.
Oh, were you?
I just learned about that, and I was like, how did I notice this.
Was she wearing a lash, Bailey?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Come on now.
Look, I've done sponsorships for products that like a mascara once long before that was not good, but I showed it. Like, look, this is what it looks like.
I personally thought her lashes looked amazing
before
the lash.
She should have just not done that. Yeah. Like, leave it up to the audience to decide
100%.
Like, if they want to buy it or not. Who gives a shit? You're being honest.
Who gives a shit? You did what you needed to do for the ad.
And like, if this is what you do reviews on your channel or whatever, like, don't lie. You're going to fuck it all
for the rest of your career.
It's never going to go away.
And now
it's just they're going to run with it.
100%.
You know how this thing goes.
And they straight up said, do you think she was wearing lashes, Bailey? And then Bailey was like, yeah, she was wearing lashes. And then they start cracking up because they know, we all know, girl. We all know. And what I found really interesting was Bailey was just saying, just be honest. It ruins it for the rest of us. It ruins it for the rest of us. And which is what Tati said about the whole situation when it happened, which is what I was saying for the whole situation when it happened. And I think that it's just how most level-headed people feel about the situation. Mikayla, she really what she did with the lash gate situation, the mascara gate situation, was she just ruined her credibility with a lot of stuff moving forward. A lot of people are not going to trust her reviews anymore. And then also, she kind of rubbed a lot of her peers and colleagues the wrong way with that, because and a lot of these people were saying, she's really nice, I like her, she's so sweet or whatever, but you shouldn't lie in your campaigns. But what that does, you have to read between the lines in that, in my humble opinion. So reading between the lines with that, what I'm hearing is that I'm saying these she's so nice, she's that, because I'm saying this publicly for the world to hear and anybody who watches it. But what I'm thinking to myself is you dumb biatch for messing this whole thing up for us, especially these old school beauty gurus. They've been through this. They've been through where people think they're lying about every single thing. There was a time in the beauty community where you couldn't talk about anything because people were going to tear you apart thinking it was unpaid sponsorship, thinking it was whatever, because people like Jaclyn Hill, and quite honestly Laura Lee too, ruined that for people. And they said they weren't just, they didn't say it, but they weren't disclosing sponsorships. They weren't disclosing affiliate links or whatever. And so people were getting manipulated by these people about these products, wasting their money on stuff that wasn't going to work for them. And so there was a time when you couldn't really talk about anything without a bunch of people, causing a ruckus, saying that you're lying or whatever. It caused a bunch of drama all the time, basically. It got so far that when Nikki Tutorials had a similar scandal, she ended up having to make this whole code thing. I don't know if she still does in her videos. I haven't watched her in a while, but Nikki Tutorials had this whole code thing of symbols in her videos that she actually incorporated into her stuff after she had some drama with undisclosed affiliate links or sponsorships or whatever when she was accused of that. So it was a huge thing. So now that some time has gone by and this new blood, I guess is the best way to put it, because Mikayla wasn't around back then. Or was it relevant back then? She might have been around, but she wasn't well known. When she comes in and she starts doing all this stuff that these older OG beauty gurus did and went through fire for and everything, and they're just dude, we already went through this and we had to climb this huge uphill battle to get ourselves out of the mud with this, because we made mistakes, we learned our lessons, or maybe we didn't, or whatever, in place of Jaclyn Hill. Maybe we didn't, whatever. But it's I feel every OG beauty guru talked about this, and every OG beauty guru pretty much had the same thoughts on it, except for Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill never talked about it, but Jaclyn Hill is up Mikayla's butt. So they're just this or whatever, so whatever. But I feel I thought the whole mascara gate situation was gone, but hearing Bailey Sarian, who is so unproblematic, and the thing is, you have unproblematic people talking about this thing, Bailey now, Kathleen Lights, these people, they're not in the drama like that. You know, you had Kendall Ray's not a beauty guru, but she was talking about it. Like, there were so many people that brought this up and brought up how messed up it was. And it's still being talked about. It's been okay, so this happened in like end of January, around mid and January, I think. And it's now April, and we're still talking about it. And it's because, you know, like, I thought it was all over or whatever, but it's just kind of like the audacity just makes it, I think, easy to keep bringing it up, because it's like almost comical at this point. Like, I think that Mikayla kind of set herself up to kind of be roasted about this for a very long time because it's just like, I don't know. Do you guys get where I'm going with this? Like, I feel like it's just like, it was such a ridiculous thing to lie about. Like, she should have just been honest about the product, because the product's not even bad. And like, it just really tarnished her name, and now I feel like she's kind of a laughing stock in the community. Like, people just use it as the joke, right? Which is not good for Mikayla. It's really not good for Mikayla's credibility. Anyway, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about Bailey Sarian, Laura Lee, and Manny Mua kikiing it up, chatting, laughing it up about Mikayla in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. And that's going to be it for today's video, you guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified of all my future videos when they do post. Remember that all Shelby bells ring the bell. And yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, YouTube should be suggesting a couple more down here for you to choose from, so I'd love it if you did that. Aside from that, I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.